What is up, everybody? This is Aaron Hass, and this is the Love Works podcast. This is a good episode. I'm excited. We've got a fun guest, a good guest, a slightly cool guest.
Wait, slightly?
Yeah, hold on. Let me finish.
Okay, all right.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Relax.
All right.
Relax.
Okay.
She's a mother. She's a wife. She's a friend. She's always up into some kind of funny business. She doing her thing.
Okay.
She a leader. She's a person.
I'm like waiting to see what you're gonna say next.
Me too. I don't even know
Okay,
what's
I
coming
know.
out. This is Sara Bishop,
Oh,
everybody.
hey.
This is a good episode with Sara Bishop.
Yep.
Sara, how you doing?
So good.
Yeah, tell the world a little bit about yourself.
Okay. My name is Sara Bishop.
That's good. All right.
And
Hey, everybody, y'all enjoy the episode?
No, but you know what? I'll say about myself in a second. But I always thought when I listened to other episodes, I thought that your intro was like pre-recorded, like I'm Aaron Hess, like that whole thing. But you just did that live. I feel like the people should know.
Wow. Thanks for kind of exposing me, but also letting the truth out.
Well, yep. You're welcome.
Alrighty.
But it is. It is good though. Like it's the same every time.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
It is the same. You think it's the same?
Yeah.
I try and keep it the same because I'm like, maybe people, I don't know why.
Well, I thought it was recorded, so there you go.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Maybe you should record it
I'll
actually.
take it. Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah. Sara Bishop.
Yeah. Tell me about yourself.
I live in Michigan, originally from the ATL.
Atlanta, if you don't know what that means.
Who doesn't know what that means?
I don't.
Okay.
I just guessed.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a rapper.
She is a rapper.
I'm not. And I got some kids.
Yeah.
3 of them.
You enjoy that?
Oh yeah.
Would you donate them to charity
Just
if you could?
2.
2 of them.
Yeah. You
Two of them
can
you donate, or 2 of them you'd keep.
Oh, donate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is one of them sitting in this room right now?
Yup. It's the big one.
The big one.
My husband is like,
he's going to the NBA.
my husband. We should talk about my husband, but my husband's 6'3",
Yeah.
and I'm like 5'9", so we grew giant children.
Yeah.
So my son that's 17 is 6'5".
Right.
He's real big. Like when he gets in trouble, he has like, I'm like, sit down, because you got
so that I can be mad at you.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
That's awesome. Yeah. Your husband's one of those people. It's like, he's one of those like super funny and chill people, but he's also the most terrifying person in the world. At the same time.
Perfect. Yeah.
So
mystery. He's a mystery man.
He is a mystery, but I feel like once you know him,
Yeah.
he's not a mystery.
Yeah. Do you feel like you know him?
No.
Okay.
No. I will say that I think about this regularly.
Yes, I know what you're about to say.
What
Go.
I was going to talk about the time where we laid concrete.
What? Laid concrete.
We were filling potholes together, and I was like racing with everybody else in the car. We were trying to lay the concrete the fastest. Whoever laid it the fastest won, and he was driving the truck. So like, now that I realize it seemed like a cheap way to get other people to do the work.
That is right. Pretend like you're having fun, and they'll do it.
Yeah.
Well, that is not what I thought you were going to say.
What do you think?
Can we just go straight into this?
Oh, you were going to talk about
Yes.
the dinner.
No.
What?
That's not.
We would have these dinners together.
Yeah. No, that's
just
not.
me and him.
What?
Yeah, we would go to like these fancy restaurants.
You're a liar.
We went to Saltgrass one time.
That didn't even exist when you were here. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, I lied.
I know. No. So I feel like this actually having me on this episode is just an opportunity for me to expose all the crap that you've done. So let's talk about how we know each other.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
How do we know each other?
We met at a camp.
Right.
That's a ministry. That is where I currently work. Actually, I'm the event coordinator.
Come on. What kind of events do you coordinate?
Like retreats for like men, women, mother, daughter, father, son.
That's awesome.
Marriage. And then I also do family camp in the summer. We do family camp all summer long.
Which is awesome, by the way.
It is.
It's impactful.
That's good, because if you had said it was bad, I'd be like, well, I coordinated that, so thanks a lot.
Yeah,
that's pretty
like,
crappy.
Actually, like it's like it seems like there's good teaching and stuff, but all the events suck.
Don't really go together. Nothing
Yeah.
really work.
Like, I just never enjoyed it. You know?
Cut that crap. Anyway, so we met there because you were serving at the camp joyfully.
Yeah.
You were not. You were mad.
You think I was mad?
Yes.
Okay.
But you came around. You were fine later.
I had some moments.
Yeah. That's all right. We all have moments, you know?
Yeah. What's happening here?
Okay. Anyway.
I will say there was some moments in my ministry time where it was like, it was just some like really, I would say dark moments where I just was like battling for a lot of my mind. And I still battle a lot of my mind. And so, I think there's like seasons where like I'm making progress. So that's always a beneficial thing. But yeah, Sarah's seen me in some really low parts of my life.
That's when you would come in my office and be like all dopey.
Yeah, dude.
That does not. Okay. Sad. Maybe.
I don't know.
Sad.
Well, I would say like emotionally not there.
Oh yeah. No, you were okay. We'll go there. And
Well,
I would be like, let's have some fun.
And then I'd get angry.
And then do you remember the time you came in and you started making prank calls in the office? You were using like the office phone number, which like literally nobody has like an office phone anymore.
Yeah.
And you're picking the phone up and you're calling people that you used to work with. And you're like, hello, I'm from this ministry and I would like to offer you a job as the lead archaeologist. Yes. Or the other one was like the trail master or something like that. And you're,
trail creator.
Yes. And you're offering, and these people are like, we can't tell if it's like legit or if like, yeah.
There were people that were like, I'm going to pray about it.
Yes. Yes.
So good. I just offered you a
so
job
bad.
to be an archaeologist for a Christian ministry.
The lead. I'm like, well, let me just think about it. Yeah. Yeah. And so then you got off the phone. And so then the next day you walk over to me and you're like, oh my gosh, I got a text from Remember. I don't know who the number is. And I'm like, oh, let me see it. And you showed him and I'm like, oh, that's my husband. Yeah. And my husband's job is like, so he was in Atlanta, he was a detective, police officer, all that stuff before we were called to Michigan. And so he's like head of like emergency management, but also like other stuff too. Yeah. And so I had texted him and I'm like, can you please harass Aaron? Because that would actually be great for me today. Having a rough day. Yeah. If we could do something like intentionally to really mess up Aaron, that'd be great. Yeah. And so he called you. Or no, he texted you and then you called. I was like, I think you should just call him. Because what did the text say? Do you remember?
I don't even know, but I remember thinking, I'm in deep doo-doo.
Yeah, yeah.
He was like, this is not an acceptable act. If you're the one that has performed, we have traced the call back to you.
That's what he said. We traced the call. Like, how are you going to trace? He's like, we've heard the recordings of the call.
Probably.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh man, I'm about to have some terrible conversations with so many people up in high leadership because they've heard my voice saying, yeah, we want to offer you a job. Because my thought was, I had people saying, yeah, we're going to pray about it. Right. Which, first off, by the way, when people say I'm going to pray about it, it normally means no.
That's a no.
But I want to sound spiritual.
Great.
You know, it's like, okay, you're going to pray about it.
Yeah.
Great, we get it. You read your Bible sometimes.
Yeah. Every 3 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that was.
So then he called. So then you had to call him, and you called him, and you. I wish I had recorded it, but I think if I had recorded it, then you would have known that I was messing with you. And so you called him, and you put it on speakerphone, and you're like, "Oh, hey, this is Aaron," and I don't remember but he was like, he came down on you.
Yeah, he did.
And he's like, "This is inappropriate. This is unacceptable behavior. Like all this stuff." And you're like, oh man, like your face got red.
Oh, dude, I was like, great, I'm done for. I was like, I don't even have a chance to be a part-time archaeologist anymore. This is ruined.
Forget the trails. And so, yeah, that was great. Yeah. That was actually so great. And
it was funny.
Yeah. And then you were like, I'm so sorry. Like you were like,
I was apologizing.
You were legit apologizing. Yeah. And he like in the just normal tone, he's like, I'm just messing with you.
And I was like, are you joking about that? Or like, where's this happening? It was crazy.
It was amazing.
Yeah. Because like, I think they said something about me. Like was going to have meetings and possibly losing my job or something.
I hope so. I hope that's what he said.
Probably. That's probably why I don't work there anymore.
Well, nope. That's probably not why.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Fun times.
No, yeah, working with you was great. I think the moments were like, you were always the place for me where I was like, okay, yeah, ministry's tough. I don't have really any family up here. You never know. Every day is different when it comes to ministry. If you're thinking about ministry and you're listening to this, just know every single day of your life is going to be very different. You're going to have a different stress, and then you're going to be like, okay, cool. Like, I'm going to get through today. And then you remember 4 weeks ago that there was a different stress that you've got to deal with now because you pushed it back. And so
I feel like are you okay?
maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah. But I feel like if you're listening to this, just know that there is, like, if you're willing to get through it, there's so many beautiful pieces in all of that. So yeah, you were always the place where I would go, and it was just like, all right, there's some life here. Yeah. And it felt fresh.
We would have fun.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah. A lot of fun moments. Yeah, so you've got kids, you're a mom, you're a fun mom.
Hey.
I think.
Oh, what?
I'm just kidding.
Look at my kid.
Yeah, I'm just what is that like? Like what are some things you've learned from just being a parent?
A lot. You learn that you're not actually in control, even though you think you are.
Right.
Not really. They all come out and make their own choices.
Yeah.
Yeah. I probably being a mom is like the greatest thing ever. It is my favorite part of me. And now that my kids, so I have 17-year-old, 15-year-old, 12-year-old. And so now that my kids are getting a little older, like literally I've had to think about like, what will my life look like when they're not because I homeschool my kids. For all the people that think that's weird, it is.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's fine. But it's cool, great. Though. It's great. So it allows us so much freedom to do whatever we want to do. So that's probably the part I like about it the most. I feel like I did not like intend to homeschool my kids all the way through, but like God had different plans for us. And I know some people probably think that sounds weird, but when we had to pick up our lives and move somewhere else, I didn't have to like pull them out of school. And that was kind of cool to be able to look back and go, okay, like I had no idea why I was doing this. I just knew that I felt direction that I was supposed to. And so then when like circumstances started happening that it actually worked in our favor, and made it easier for us, then it was easy to go, oh, well, that was God's hand in our life to go, this is why I had you do this. You didn't know why. Wow. Now you know why.
Yeah, that's good too. And it's tough in those moments where it's like, man, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get why I'm moving from Atlanta to Michigan.
Yeah.
That's what's the word? Stupid, you know?
Yeah, you know how much snow is on the ground?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say we don't have snow in Atlanta. There's literally snow in Atlanta right now. That's okay. It's weird.
But it's not negative 5 degrees.
Correct.
Which is crazy.
That will hurt.
It does hurt.
Yeah. Are you all right?
I don't think so.
Okay. I feel there's some tension with the negative 5.
Man. Negative 5 is just bad.
But negative 5, and it felt like negative 30, they said.
Yeah, no, it felt like death.
I think if you go under 0, it all feels it just hurts the same.
It does, yeah. And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you're like, where am I?
It does feel like you're in an episode of Stranger Things.
Okay.
You know, you walk outside and it's like always dark.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but the sun's shining right now as you say that. So
it is. But it's also not negative 5 degrees.
That is true.
It's like 22 or something.
Yeah. Heat wave.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean your parents and your mom, you've moved up from Michigan to Atlanta.
No.
I mean from Atlanta to Michigan. Yep. I don't know what I'm saying.
That's all right.
What did it look like getting into ministry? Like because you had kids before you started full time.
Right.
Like you were gung ho into ministry. What were you doing before ministry too?
So I didn't have. Well, I was a wedding coordinator in Atlanta.
Okay.
But it was like on my own terms. Like I would like pick and choose what. It wasn't like a business or whatever.
Right.
So I still do that now. Hey,
cool.
If you need a wedding coordinator, my phone number. I'm just kidding.
First, I would need to have a wedding.
Well,
or a partner for a wedding.
Okay.
And money.
Yeah.
And,
no, that's true because I cost a lot of money.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not doing that for free.
Hey, and the women out there, I don't cost a lot of money.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
playing. I'm relax.
Well, also true. So, okay, great.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so I was a wedding coordinator, but I volunteered in our church. So I did like our children's department stuff and all that stuff. But mainly my job was being a mom. So did all the stuff with the kids, like teaching people how to read.
Yeah.
Teaching people how to go potty. It is a rewarding job.
Especially when it works.
Truth.
Yeah.
When it doesn't work.
Not as rewarding.
Not as great.
Maybe for them, it's just convenient.
Yeah. Like, okay. Anyway. Yeah. So my husband, what I said a second ago, was he was a homicide detective in Atlanta. Okay. He was like at the high point of his career. He's going to die if he hears this, because he does not ever want like any accolades, but he would just earn Detective of the Year. Like, he was good. He was doing good.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, so the ministry that we work with now, we kind of found out who they were. God really moved in our lives. And then we just started praying like what our next step was. And God showed me and my husband through scripture and through teaching that we were going to go into full-time ministry, which is not something that he ever wanted. It was actually missions is what we said that we were going to be a part of. Wow. And we had no idea what that looked like no idea. And so it was a really cool journey of faith and just following like the next step of what God had for us. And I know that sounds like so foreign to some people, but it wasn't like this big like epiphany and like lights and whatever. It was like just us every day praying and asking God to show us like what he has for us. And then also like just super concrete. So like we would say, let's see what our next step is. And then we would say, let's just pray about it separately. And so we knew God was calling us to missions. We were like, what does that mean? We don't know. Like, where are we going? What are we doing? And so we were like, God, just show us what the next step was. So then we would just do like our daily time with God, and then we would tell each other, once we know what we feel like God is showing us, then we'll come back together. But we're not going to come back together until he shows each of us separately, because we don't want to like influence each other or whatever. And so every single time it was the same thing. So the first thing God told us was, sell your house and all your possessions.
To which I'd have been like, God, no.
Yeah. It was so bizarre though, because I think because we like, it wasn't a feeling or it wasn't like a hunch. It was scripture that like we're praying, God, what's our next step? And our scripture will say literally like, sell your home and all your possessions. Wow. And it would be like different scriptures that we had, and we were praying separately. So then it was like even more confirmation. We would come back together and we're like, hey, I think I have something. And he'd be like, yeah, I think I have something. And we'd come back and, what scripture do you have? Sell your house and all your possessions. What scripture do you have? And then he would have the same, it wasn't the same scripture, but the same concept. Yeah, same exact thing. And we're like, okay, well, I guess next step is to sell our house. Wow. So we did. Incredible. We gave our kids like the black and yellow totes. Yeah. They each got one tote that they could fill up with like toys or whatever they needed to bring. Like, that's what they could keep.
I would have been purchasing my brother's tote. Yeah. Like, hey man, I'll buy your tote off you, please, man, please. Yeah. $100 for your tote.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They didn't do that.
I love stuff.
They wouldn't have sold it either. They would have been like, nope, get your own tote.
Well, yeah. I mean, with enough money, you can buy all the things that you once had.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So they a business deal.
They packed all their stuff up, and they actually didn't fight it. Like, it was kind of bizarre too, because they were like, I can't even remember what ages they were 6 years ago. So 6, 11, and whatever, 9, 12, 9, 12. Math is not really my thing.
I get it.
Okay.
I'm the same way.
So yeah, they
it's worse when you think math's your thing, but it's really not. Like, you've always met those people in school that's like, okay, Jerry, you don't even like, you still keep doing division on your fingers. Yeah. I don't even do, I can't even figure out how to do division on a calculator.
Divide. Just don't do it.
So
multiplication is better than,
Oh yeah. Multiplication is a lot better because you can, it's like adding, but times,
Okay.
Multiple times. So I like doing that. It's like 4 times 4. Okay, well, cool. Let me get my tallies out.
Wait, what's it called? Like an abacus? Let's get it. You know what that is? The little beads that that's going to be dumb if that's not what it's called.
I don't know. Applecus?
Yep. An apple cuss. No, abacus. But it's like, anyway, look it up.
Okay, I'll
That's
have to
what
look
Google's
it up.
for.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
That's
So we literally pushed all our stuff out on our lawn and had a yard sale. Like, to like the point of, there were some things I was like, okay, this is going to be really hard to get rid of. Like my grandmother's dining room suit, like, yeah, all the like things we got for our wedding that we had never used before. Like, you know, if you live in the South, you have like fine china,
yeah.
just in case you need to whip that out. Like if a senator comes to eat with you or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I had that.
And even then, you probably don't break it out if the senator comes.
Oh,
They'll be
no.
like, we eat on paper plates.
I would have been like, you're here, China's out.
Yeah.
We'll have to wash
Really?
it for the first time.
If the senator came to your house?
Yeah. It happened a lot, actually.
I did landscaping for my senator's yard.
Did you break out the china for lunch?
I should have.
You absolutely should have.
He asked me to do some wild things, and I remember thinking like,
Hold on, wild things on his lawn?
Yeah, I did realize that he's in politics, so it probably sounded bad.
Right.
But,
I'm here to help you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like, he wanted me to like cut his bushes down almost to nubs, and they were like big bushes. I was also terrible at landscaping.
Did you do it?
Oh yeah, I was like, cool, I got to do the landscaping for my senator, but it looks terrible. And it's not my fault. It was probably my fault.
You take pictures. You're like, look at what I did at the senator's lawn.
And then he asked, he was like, because normally I would haul off all the branches and things I cut.
Yeah.
And he didn't want me to do that. He was like, the city will come get it. Well, I'm talking, there was like, he had a big yard. There was a giant line of all these sticks and like bushes and crap that was just laid out in front of his yard.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, the city will come get it.
Because he was a senator, or because they just do that?
I think he was just thinking they just do that. But I was like, the city's going to hate you.
Yeah.
You're never getting voted back in.
That one man.
Yeah.
Is gonna, yeah.
He was like, and I remember I was doing like his landscape. He was like, hey man, I'm about to be on the call with the vice president in a second. If you could just like not have the chainsaw running or something for a second, that'd be good. And I'm like,
perfect.
let me hop on.
I
that.
know.
I don't even remember who was president at the time. Probably like, I think it was Ronald Reagan.
That is not true.
Yeah, it wasn't.
No.
It definitely wasn't true.
So you're good at like political stuff too. Math and political.
I did have to look up who the president was during the Great Depression the other day.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like Hoover or something?
Sure.
I was writing a paper.
I'm a teacher, so I know that's...
It's not true?
No, I have not. Like, I'm not. Bailey's better at history. Oh, am I allowed to say his name?
Yeah. Okay.
This man child sitting in here.
No, you're allowed to say any name.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember thinking... I don't remember. I didn't even know who the president was before Barack Obama. Okay. Barack Obama was just so...
The first one.
Yeah, dude, he was like the number one. In my mind, it's like Barack Obama and then everybody after
like
that.
Abraham Lincoln? No.
Abraham Lincoln? I think he did. He came after Barack, right?
Yeah. Right after.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Okay.
Abraham.
That's probably who he was taking the phone call from.
That would make sense, wouldn't it?
This is out of control.
Anyway, what were you saying?
I have no idea. So we sold all our stuff, sold our house. Didn't know where we were going. So then we're like, all right, God, what's next? What's the next thing? And so we ended up like looking through different ministries, trying to figure out where we were going. Ended up landing in Michigan, lived with our friends. So we sold our stuff. We didn't have anywhere to go. And our friends, long process, but our friends were like, we want you to move in with us. So our family of 5 moved in with their family of 5 in their home. Literally the most generous people I've ever met in my life.
Really?
Like I actually learned so much about generosity to open your home to people. We're friends, but like, we want to keep being friends later. So, this might not work out. Like,
right.
I mean, when you live with somebody,
right.
You know the ins and outs, and it worked so well. Like, we actually became so much closer and didn't hate each other. And yeah, that was nice. And so, yeah. And then we moved to Michigan. We were able to pack up everything we owned in like a little trailer that you pull behind your car or whatever, and moved up here and then started our new life. So all our family and friends that we were, obviously we made some friends up here too, but all of them still live down there, and that's probably the hardest part, being away from.
Believe it.
Yeah.
it is so different being like in a whole different part of the world than where everyone else
right
is at. It is so much tougher than people recognize.
Oh,
like, you're just moving and doing something else. Like, no, you're in this. You don't get to bring everything.
Yeah,
you're right on that. Like, even me coming up north has been like, it's a culture shock.
Yes.
One, because I don't have the things I would normally have.
Yep.
And two, I'm buying new things, getting new things, and I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
It's like
you're like starting a new life.
You're literally starting a new life, which is kind of cool, but it can be tough sometimes. There have been some days I'm like, I'm crying on the floor.
Yeah. Super isolating.
Yeah, it can.
But I realize I'm 10 minutes down the street from you. 10 minutes.
10 minutes down the street.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'll have to come by and steal some of your food or something.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, so you're in ministry now.
Yeah.
You've got kids.
Yep.
You're an awesome mother. You've got a terrifying husband.
Love.
Good husband though.
Yeah.
I
actually love that he's terrifying because to me, like, he's like, I think he's scared of me.
Oh yeah, dude. That's a win.
I'm just kidding. He's not scared. Oh, maybe a little, but
a little intimidated.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's good to have somebody that everybody else is scared of, and then you're like, yeah, but he's scared of me. No.
Yeah. Like I'm the head honcho.
I'm not. But yeah, I am.
So you're in full-time ministry now.
Yeah.
You're great at your position.
Hi.
You've got a lot of you do things around. What's cool about your position is you do things around the country, and people don't notice that. Like, you're setting up events in Mississippi right now, and you're in Michigan.
Yeah.
And you're setting up things. I think there's some things in Tennessee you're setting up. Like, you're doing stuff all around, and so you kind of got your fingers in a lot of places, and God's working in a lot of cool ways in your life, and in lives around you because of what you're doing. What is your I know we've talked about this before, but I think this is just powerful. What does your like childhood look like? You're growing up. You've got you're from Atlanta.
ATL.
Yeah, the ATL.
Okay, every
Come
time. Yeah.
On. Hey man, you gotta represent where you're from. Except I don't, because I'm like from Mississippi, and I'm like anything but Mississippi.
Oh, okay. You don't have like a something you shout out when you hear your hometown.
I don't know. Most people
run. No.
Run. Yeah, well, I'm right outside of Memphis, so I just claim that because it sounds better.
Yeah. Yeah, my childhood.
Yeah, so your childhood, you were growing up.
Yeah.
What did that look like?
So my parent grew up in the church. You met my parents.
Yeah, they're great people.
You love my dad.
Yeah, man.
Do you want to say?
His name is Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it is?
That's his grandpa name.
That's a real name.
People kind of tilt their head a little bit when they hear that, and then oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my dad has texted you before though.
Oh yeah, we text all the time.
Oh,
I FaceTimed him last night.
Oh, perfect. Hey, Big Daddy.
What up, Big Daddy? Man, when you coming to see me?
Yeah. And what'd he say?
He was like, man.
Couple weeks.
No, he was like, dude, I'll be up there next weekend.
Yeah, perfect.
And he was gonna stay with me. Probably.
Okay. Nope. He's not.
Where's he staying?
My house.
Oh.
He is coming in a couple weeks. I'll have to have you. Well, that's when I'll have you over for dinner.
Okay.
When they're in town.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know how we started. Oh, my childhood. That's all.
I know, Big Daddy's great.
Yeah. Shout out to Nana too. Come on, how you gonna leave Diane out?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Forgot her name, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, rude.
Big Mama. Hey.
That's actually fantastic. She's 5'2", petite
what
little
up?
woman.
What up, Big Mama, Big Daddy?
Oh my gosh. Please no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So grew up in the church, shockingly. We were at church a lot.
Right.
Did
you enjoy that though?
I did. Yeah. They served, and so, we were the church kids that run around and cause ruckus and play hide and seek in the creepy parts of the church.
Yeah, I'm that church adult.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
Who wants to hide?
Hide and seek.
So grew up in the church, but then as a teenager kind of went a little wild. Right. So yeah, kind of went buck wild actually, and I always tell people I drank way more as a teenager than I ever have as an adult.
Wow.
Yeah, just partied all the time, and my parents weren't really excited about that.
Yeah.
which I could understand that as a parent now. That probably was not the greatest thing to have your kid do.
Yeah. So you, mental health is it's a phrase that's kind of really developed now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like it's a phrase that people are like, oh yeah, my mental health is poor. And I'm a firm believer that we've got a mental health crisis in the world right now.
Yeah.
Do you think that some of your like partying was like in ties to like, man, I'm in a tough spot right now.
For
Let
sure.
me numb.
Yeah. Yeah. So I went through like a period of where I was like super sick in high school.
Okay.
They ended up diagnosing it as lupus.
Wow.
But they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And I mean like sick, like in bed, like
Wow.
couldn't function, sick. And a lot of people, like the way that works is sometimes you're like feel like you're going to die. And then sometimes you're like, okay, I think I'm good now. So when I was a teenager, it was like very like back and forth. And so some people would see you when you were okay and be like, you're fine. Like, what is your problem?
Yeah.
And so that was really hard. Like looking back on that probably set me off. But so then I ended up getting better and they ended up figuring out like whatever I was, like medication I needed to be on and stuff. But then so once I started feeling better, I would just go crazy. So I started hanging around with a group of people that I should not have been hanging around, that were older. They weren't even in high school. Okay. And so they could buy everything they wanted for parties and whatever. And so we would go and we would just party all the time. But, obviously my parents either didn't know or like would forbid me from doing it. And then I'd just go do it anyway. Like, yeah. So yeah, it was kind of crazy. Like looking back, it was wild. Like it was actually crazy that I didn't get like die.
Wow.
Yeah. Even some of the medication that I was on, like was not supposed to be mixed with alcohol. So yeah, wow. It was crazy. But I there were several times that I like ran away from home, just to get with those people and away from my parents. And so one time in particular, I ran away from home, took the car that my parent, like it was my parents' car, wow. Took it to the parties, whatever. I remember one time I was at a party and like this fight broke out at this party. I mean, they were like smashing a guy's head through the window. There's like blood, glass everywhere. Like it was out of control. And so we all like start coming outside because obviously, and somebody's like, the cops are called and whatever. So everybody kind of starts like dispersing. And then my dad drives up in the driveway of the house and I'm like, oh, like he didn't know where I was. And so I'm like belligerent. I'm like, I'm not going home with you. And like all this stuff. And he's like, I just need to make sure you're safe. Wow. And he's like, I can't make you, like, he's not going to like shove me in the car or something. And I was like, how? So and he ended up going home like the next day or whatever. I was like, how did you know where I was? And he said, I didn't. And I was like, well, how did you pull up in the driveway then? And he was like, I kept praying that God would tell me where the next turn was. And I just kept turning and turning. He pulled into the driveway. And I'm telling you, like, I didn't even know where this house was before I went. Like, there's no way he knew where this house was.
Wow.
It was crazy. I was like,
I just got chills.
Yeah. Like, it was nuts. And then the fact that he didn't, like, force me to leave with him was sort of crazy. If that was my kid, I'd be like, get your butt in the car right now. Yeah. I will hurt you in this.
You're not allowed to blink.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Yes.
You're grounded from
Quit
blinking.
breathing. Yeah. But yeah. And then, so that was one super crazy time. But another time that I like ran away, I was gone for like days. Like they had they thought I was dead. Like They had detectives. So they ended up putting out, like saying that the car was stolen that I took because like they didn't know how else to find me. They were like, that was back in the day, you're like tracing phone calls and stuff from, yeah. Cause I did call twice. I think I needed money or something like that. And so, they traced the call and it ended up, my friend was with me. We decided we were like, okay, that's it. We're coming home because we were supposed to leave the next day for youth camp. And I was like, my parents have already paid for youth camp. They're going to like Florida to like the beach. I'm like, I'm hungry. I'll have meals. I won't be at home. They've already paid for it. They're not going to go, oh, you're not going to go. So I'm going to go home and then I'll just leave the next morning and I still won't have to be at home, which is so crazy because like my home life was actually fantastic.
Right.
But at that point I was just so belligerent that I like didn't want to be a part of it. So anyway, I dropped my friend off. Well, there were cops waiting at my friend's house and they followed me and they pulled me over. And so I'm like looking back, I'm like, God, that was crazy. And so they I get out of the car And then they call my family and they're like, you can come get her or we can arrest her. Like, you got to tell us what you want to do. And so my brother shows up because my parents had to stay at the house with like the detective that was there or whatever. And my brother pulls up and he's like hugging me. And I'm like, whatever. Like, I was so stupid. And so they didn't arrest me. I went back home and I get home and my parents are like, what are we doing? Like, are we still, I messed them up. Like, it was so bad. Wow. And so, I'm like, I want to go to youth camp. And they're like, fine. And at that point, then they knew I was safe. And they're like, we don't even want to look at you. Like, the stress you've caused us in our lives. So I went to youth camp, just was like over it. Like, I was only there so I could have housing and food and whatever. And then about halfway through the week, my youth minister came up to me and he was like, can we just talk for a second? And I was like, whatever. Wow. And so I just let him keep talking. And he goes, what is it that's causing you to keep this lifestyle that you're doing? What is it that why are you doing this or whatever? And I was like, well, I mean, it's the people I'm hanging around. It's when I get around them that I like go crazy. And he was like, how do I stop you from seeing this people? What is it going to take in your life? Like, are you going to have to like get in a car accident? Like, what's going to be your wake up call? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I still like these people, whatever. And he was like, well, how are you connected to them? Yeah. You're going to like this. This is going to be so good. I
love this.
I was like, it's my pager.
Yeah.
So, that dated me just a minute, but, okay. So
was that the 40s?
Yes, it was 1942. Then I had my,
and that when the Depression was?
The beeper.
And that when it was?
So he was like, because there's no way these people were going to call my house. Like, they were terrified of my parents. Yeah. They weren't going to come pick me up. They're like, imagine. Yeah. He would hurt you. And so I was like, well, they page me and then it's like codes and whatever. So you like figure out where the party is and all that stuff. So that's my connection. And he goes, how much can I pay you right this second in cash to hand me your pager? Wow. And I was like, so in my mind, I'm like scheming. I'm like, well, if I tell him this price, then when I get back home, I can just buy another pager and then whatever, we're still good. Like, I was not ready to like give up the lifestyle. I was just ready to make some money off a pager. Right. And he was like, I mean, the pager was probably worth $50, maybe something like that. And he was like, I'll give you $100 right now. And I was like, sweet. So I sold him my pager. All right, I can have two. Yeah. So sold him the pager. And then after I did that, then I started like paying a little more attention in services that week. And God like really got a hold of my life and was like, okay, like you've done this step. Now what are we going to do? Like, what are you going to do when you get back home and whatever? And so got back home and didn't want to buy another pager. It actually made the ties cut with those people. There was no way for me to even get back in touch with them. And so it put this like barrier up that I had to have. Like, I needed somebody to go, that's it. Like, no more. You're not going to talk to these people. And I never talked to, like, it was weird. Like, we would have like things show up in our mailbox that they had like dropped off, like trying to get in touch with me so that we could party. Wow. And my parents would be in there like, you got some mail. Do you want it? I'm like, I don't even want to see it. Like, it's not even. And so from that point on, my life literally changed.
Like a 180.
180. Yeah. So.
Wow. Yeah. Were you like would you say you were a believer in Jesus then?
Oh, yeah.
You were?
Oh, I knew what I was doing was wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I feel like there's so many Christians out there that don't know that. They're like, you see them and they're like, oh man, this guy can't be a believer because he's doing drugs now. It's like, no, like I've made more mistakes as a believer than I did as a non-believer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But now I know that there's grace for it and I want to turn away from it.
Right. Yes.
And I'm like, all right, what's the next mistake by accident?
Right.
Just fall into it.
Yeah. Oh no, I knew what I was doing wrong, but I think once you start doing something that you know you shouldn't be doing, the more you do it, the more like hard your heart gets to go, oh, this is okay. Or like you justify, this isn't bad or this is okay. And then it's just going to take something like radical for you to go, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. Like, this is not okay. I mean, literally it was like illegal at the age that I was. So yeah.
I remember, addiction is such a tough thing for me. I feel like addiction is just like, I can get addicted to so much, something so easily. I just got that personality.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I think it's wrong, like nicotine is wrong in any way, but I remember God was like, you don't need that for yourself.
Yeah.
And I was in such a stressful spot, and this wasn't actually super long ago. And he was like, you don't need this. And I was like, I got to get some nicotine pouches. Like I'm borderline breaking down everywhere in my life. And I was going to purchase some, and God said, if you start this, you're going to end up being like blank. And I don't want to say what it is because I don't want to offend anybody, or it's not inappropriate, but, and
so wait, when you say God said, how do you,
I was in the line and somebody walked in front of me. And they literally, like, you could see that they had like nicotine damage done to their face. And I was in the line and I actually still bought them that day. And I was like, all right, God, I'm going to, like, whatever. I'm in a spot like you should understand. The next day I had to go to the library to print some stuff off, and I had one in my lip. I saw the same man there.
No way.
Not joking. And I still kept it. I was like, God, like, let me just live my life. Can I be a normal human being, please? And sure enough, I remember I was in a spot where I was just like, I gotta, like, I know I need to let go, so I'll let go. And there you get clarity of mind whenever you let go. I feel like your mind actually goes crazier whenever you let go of addiction at first. But as time goes on, you're like, man, I feel God's presence in a different way.
Yeah.
And I've heard this before, and I'll say it now. Addicts are the people that when they're like, their heart gets like tied to Jesus, it's such a beautiful thing, because you once were worshiping a substance, and now you're worshiping your creator.
Yeah.
And there's relationship attached to it.
Yep.
Pills never loved me.
Yep.
They never loved me back.
Yeah.
I loved them, and it was toxic. That's a toxic relationship. It's the same thing with a bad dating relationship. You might love this person, but they keep cheating on you. Why are you coming back to them?
Yeah.
And so that's what I ended up finally realizing, like, man, I'm going to let go of some things, and by no means am I perfect. And that's what this podcast is about. I want people to realize I'm a believer in Jesus. I'll probably have people on that aren't believers in Jesus.
Yeah.
Because I believe that there's power in saying I'm letting go.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put my eyes on something that actually matters.
Yeah.
And so I don't even really know exactly why I shared that. I remember we were just talking about how, like, you were letting go of that phone, and there was something, or the phone, the beeper.
Pager. Hey.
I said beeper.
It's the same thing. Yeah. It is I will school you right now.
Come on,
it's the same.
I thought it was.
All right.
But yeah, there's just there's power in saying, man, I'm done with this.
Yep. And I'll say too, like, so the power of prayer. My parents prayed, like, on their knees, praying to God that he would. So I've learned through that as a parent, like, I can't control my children, but I can go to God and say, please help us with this. Please help this situation. And he'll listen. And he may choose to help it in a different way than what I think should be helped, but that's more powerful than anything else that I can do. And then I'll say too, like, I talked about, I had lupus and had this debilitating disease and all this kind of stuff. My mom prayed and prayed and prayed, and it ended up going into remission. And then now this is actually so crazy too. So, they do blood work all the time. Like, so since I had kids, I had to come off all the medication when I got pregnant with my first. And so then they did all these blood tests and all this stuff. Nothing. There's zero sign of lupus. Like, I'm not on any medication now. Like, God healed me.
Wow.
And, like, that's huge. I mean, that is like, it was there medically. It was in the blood work, and now it's not. So,
Man,
yeah.
That's powerful. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you two things.
Yeah.
When it comes to like, for somebody that's listening to this and they don't believe
Right.
that God's still a healing God,
Yep.
like, teach them.
Yeah.
Tell them why you believe that. And also for parents out there
Sure.
that like aren't praying for their kids.
Yeah.
That right there,
Yeah.
one, is a testament to why you should.
Yep.
But two, I mean, are you, why do you like, what is
well,
your
not
prayer
even
life?
that. So like, so prayer, this is actually a powerful story too. And I think my husband would be okay with me praying or telling this. So, my mom, I'm telling you, like I saw my mom in her Bible, reading the word, praying every day, like without fail. I think there's something to that, to actually see a parent doing that. But I remember her telling me when I was growing up that she was praying for my spouse, and I'm in like 7th grade or something. And I'm like, okay,
Cool.
a little weird, Mom, but all right. And
Yeah.
she's like, no, like, I know that you will likely have a spouse one day, and I want to go ahead and be praying for them. So my husband shared a story. He didn't have a great childhood growing up. And he starts telling me this story about just a really dark time, and he was just struggling and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, wait, tell me like time frame where that is. And so we end up lining it up, and my mom journals. So she goes back in her journal to when he was this age.
Wow.
And she's like, no way. She's praying specifically for him. She don't know who he is, you know, and this time in his life. I mean, I truly believe it literally saved his life.
Wow.
Because he had nobody else that was doing that for him.
Yeah.
Nobody else in the world was praying for him. But this woman that had no idea who he was is praying for him, and praying like all just specific prayers that, God hears our prayers.
Oh, 100%.
And so praying for your kids, praying for your kids' spouses, like that, I feel like that is so powerful. I actually don't think there's anything else you can do. I mean, same thing with friends and family and parents and anybody. Like if you don't have kids, like you pray for the people that are in your life.
Yeah.
Because God will move, like he will hear you. Yeah. So, And then as far as like the healing goes, I mean, I experienced it. So I know without a shadow of a doubt that God healed me. There is no medical reason that my blood work should be fine now.
Wow.
Lupus is not something that goes away. It does not.
Yeah.
You can treat the symptoms for it. I mean, I was on all kinds of medication, injections, like all kinds of stuff, to make me feel like a normal person. So it was actually really scary to drop all that medication to get pregnant. But I had a peace about it. And then to get, it was a moving experience to go in and them go, everything looks fine.
Wow.
And you're like, well, maybe you have the wrong chart, or like
how long I've been taking medication I don't need. This is a trick.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I truly believe that God will, but that's not always his plan for you. Yeah. Like, it doesn't mean that like you're the chosen one because he heals you. Mm-hmm. It just means that's the plan he has for your life. But he can use other people that he doesn't heal for, other reasons too. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's good. So I want to transition into something. I heard you brought a list with you.
Yeah, I got a list.
A list.
It's titled Aaron Hass. It's on my phone.
It's a little. It could be odd, a little bit odd, maybe.
Yeah, stalker.
I
did not make the list till I knew I was coming on the podcast. So don't be trying to think highly of yourself that you're.
I'm gonna cry now.
Okay. I needed to list out all the crazy junk that you did. So that I could tell.
Cut. We're done.
So I could tell all your business to all the people.
That's good.
Okay, when you left camp and you moved into your own place, you would come back every so often, maybe once a week, twice a week, and I'd be like, "Oh, he's coming to visit." Nah, you were hungry. Yeah. And so you came and you showed up and you're like, "Hey, can I have some food?" Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "No, you cannot." Starve. No, yeah. I said, so one night in particular, we were setting up for we call it breakaway, but it's like the adults come and the kids go somewhere. It's like a date night kind of thing. And so we're setting up for this nice evening. And I was like, if you help me set up, I'll give you an apple. That is so generous of me.
It was.
Yeah. So
And
you're
I
like,
helped.
yeah, you're like, I will help. And I'm like, perfect. Go get this table. Go get the whatever. So you start working. So I just knew you would complete your job. So I gave you an apple as you were setting up.
Yeah.
That's true generosity.
That's what you wanted to share?
No, but I'm saying as you
You look like the bad guy.
as you were setting up, you're eating your apple and you sat the apple down.
I was so angry.
And then you came back and somebody had thrown away.
I was so angry. I remember this. I was like, there is no chance. If I took like 3 bites out of it, set it down because I needed to move a table.
Yeah.
And then someone picks my apple up and tosses it.
Gone.
That was an angering day.
I gave you another one.
Okay.
All right. That was, I think probably you had to be there to see the anger of the apple, but
yeah,
it was amazing.
I was quite upset.
It was so funny.
Because I was like, this is my dinner. Somebody threw away my dinner.
Also, I do believe I let you stay for dinner that night. Did I?
No.
Yes, I did.
No, you did
ate.
not.
Yes, you did. You ate. I did not just give you an apple or 2.
Yeah, I think you gave me another apple after I was upset.
All right, well.
I don't think I stayed for
I'll
dinner.
have you over for dinner or something. Do you remember the time you were in the office and McKenna was in there? Wait, can we love McKenna right now? I love McKenna.
McKenna's great.
Okay. You were in the office and you were sitting, I think you were sitting in Chris Prediger's chair. And like for some reason you turned and your hand touched McKenna's knee. And I have never seen somebody spaz out more than you did.
Yeah.
But you touched her leg.
What?
You touched her leg
yeah.
on accident.
Yeah.
It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. You I don't know. Why did you spaz so much?
I think I was like gagging or something.
No, gagging.
I think it was like a
You're
joke.
like, oh, I touched your leg. It
Yeah.
was too much. Okay, this one's actually a really good one.
Okay.
More than a leg touch. This is when you pierced your ears in my office.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay. Good or it was like this weird.
They're still pierced.
I have never laughed so hard in my life.
Yeah.
First of all, the fact that you let somebody just come in and pierce your ears, which she did a good job. But like, you know, they do the like dot on your ears before like to see if it's even. Could
Right.
not get them even. If you see Aaron, his earrings are probably uneven.
No, I made her do it 1,000 times until
Yeah,
it was
and then
perfect.
after, you should post the video actually.
I haven't
And then
posted
after, you're like, they're not right. Like you're screaming, freaking out. But you were just going to do one side, right?
Yeah, it was initially one.
Yeah.
And I already had my nose pierced, so I was like, let me strategically do this.
And then we were like, no, you got to do the other now. And they were some like blue topaz earring. Like it was not cute. It was not. It was weird.
Yep.
And then you had to leave. And then you had to leave those in for how long?
I don't even know. Too long.
It was something. But
It was a while.
it was wild. Okay, can we talk about when you dressed up? So there's a character called Mountain Man Jack. And we would often have somebody dress up in that to like greet the kids that are coming to family camp or whatever. And one day you decided that you were going to dress up as Mountain Man Jack. And then you got buck wild with it. And you started putting fruit snacks all in your pockets. And then these children would come up and you would say, do you remember what you said?
I don't remember.
Yes, you do. You got to do it.
I remember
You
it.
said-
I do remember it. I don't even know how I said it. I was like, Mountain Man Jack, would you like a pocket snack? I would come up to
It was
kids.
so creepy.
No, it was cool.
No, it was not. And you scared the children.
You know how many kids I made smile that
They
day?
did take the pocket snacks, but that was weird. That's like literally what you train your child not to do. A stranger is going to hand you food. Do you take it? No, Mom. And then this strange guy with some overalls on pulls out some fruit snacks from his pocket. And you're like,
That was cool, though.
welcome, little child.
I
Yeah.
had, it was nice. They liked it.
I cannot see a fruit snack without thinking of pocket snacks. And that's weird.
I like fruit
So
snacks.
thanks a lot for that.
I like them a lot.
Remember when you taught my youngest child how to curse?
Listen, that's just cool. I'm helping them on the streets.
Literally, she was like, you were in, I don't remember what you
I don't
were
even
mad
know what
about
I
in my
said.
office. And she was like 10 years old. And like, we just don't curse a lot in our family.
Yeah.
And I'm really strict on what I like when they're little. I don't let them watch a lot of shows or whatever. And you're in the office and you just start letting things fly. And then she's like, I'm like, she doesn't even know that word. And you're like, yeah, you do. Don't you know that word? And she's like, no. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I didn't believe her.
Still now, she's like, Aaron taught me how to cuss.
Good.
No, not good.
I'm sorry.
All the things I do for parenting, you just ruined it in 1 second.
Hey, man, you got to do something. Your son's over there just dying laughing.
Still, she will still be like, yeah.
Listen,
I learned all my curse words from Aaron Hass.
Hey, man, somebody's got to teach them.
Yeah, well, no, they actually don't. I mean, that's pretty much.
Your son's heard me cuss.
I mean, I have too. Hey, do you want to talk about when you watched over teenage boys, like you were like over them in a cabin, and they
Hold on,
yeah.
You are not saying this very well.
Okay. Okay, you were like a counselor.
Yeah, I was like a
Mistake one.
Probably.
Okay. No, that's not true. You were a good one. But yeah, is that better?
I was like, for high school students, I was like a counselor for them. Like we would.
That's better than watched over boys in a cabin.
Yeah, I was watching boys in a cabin. Probably not great to say on a podcast.
Alrighty. Now you're arrested.
Yeah.
Like first story, giving children little snacks.
Yeah.
Second story.
Yeah.
Boys in a cabin.
Giving kids pocket snacks. And watching boys in a cabin.
Okay.
My next guest is going to be somebody
Officer
in prison.
at the door. Yeah. This is my cellmate.
Speaking of this is
jeez.
I was riding home yesterday and I was apparently my license was expired. I was going 15 over. My license plate was expired, and I have an out-of-state license because I hadn't changed.
So why aren't you in jail right this second?
Well, he went to go run my license.
And took off.
Well, at first he didn't even think the car was registered in my name.
Oh my gosh!
And so I've got all these things he could give me tickets for, and he said the only reason why you're getting away today is because my system's down. And I said, no, sir.
Oh no! Please don't argue with that.
I was like,
no, let me tell you why I'm getting away.
Because of God. I've been praying.
Wow. So much. Did you get all that straight?
Not yet.
You about to go out again?
This happened yesterday.
On all your expired business?
Happened yesterday.
One time I got pulled over for an expired tag. And I literally got out of the car and I'm like, there's no way my tag is expired. I thought it was under my name. It was under my husband's name. And it was expired. And so I got home. That's when he was still an officer. And I was like, what would you have done? He was like, oh, I would have impounded your car. And I'm like, I had 3 kids in the car with me. He's like, doesn't matter. You would have been out of there. So
really?
Your car could have been impounded.
Oh, he was not happy with me.
Like literally, you should be in jail right now.
Really?
Yeah. Are you going to go out again? You need a ride?
Maybe.
You should. Hey.
My check engine light literally came on like 15 seconds before he pulled me over. I'm not even joking. So my check engine light came on, all this stuff. And it's like.
Hold on. So your license is expired? Your tag is expired?
Yeah.
What else?
I had an out-of-state license and it's past due.
You need to go. You want me to drive you to the Secretary of State?
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's bad.
It was bad.
A lot of things could be happening right. Anyway. So the boys, back to the boys.
Yeah, you were telling the story.
I know, but I'm saying.
Yeah.
Before I was rudely interrupted. Just kidding.
Yeah,
you weren't. No, that was worth it. But also, I do have concern for you right now. So.
But I didn't get a ticket because the system was down. Praise God.
So did they like to play pranks on you?
Yeah, unfortunately.
And did they do something about snakes? Don't you love snakes?
I've got 3 biggest fears in life.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
3 biggest fears. Number 3, drowning. Terrified of drowning.
Yeah.
Like, there people that like, oh yeah, I'm going to the beach. No, dude, that's terrifying.
Yeah. I remember this because you wouldn't even step foot in the water at the lake at camp.
I wouldn't. No, because let me tell you something. I don't like beaches because I don't like sand in my butt crack, and I don't like drowning.
All right. You don't have to sit in the sand. You can just stand in it.
Well, I can go stand in the air conditioning.
All right.
And so I got three biggest fears.
Yeah.
Drowning, number 3.
Yep.
Number 2, snakes.
Yeah.
Terrified of snakes.
Okay.
I don't know why people play with them.
Right.
Number 1, drowning in snakes. No thanks. No thanks. Never.
Okay. Drowning in snakes.
Yeah.
You're like going on that like show Fear Factor or something.
I thought about it.
That's literally drowning in snakes.
They be doing stuff like that.
I know.
I think it's shut down though.
But you get money. So, but what did they do to you with a snake? They brought a snake in?
Yeah.
And what?
I held the snake because I was like, I'm conquering my fear. So I was like, capture a snake. If you capture one, I'll hold it.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. So they caught a baby snake. And I was like, this is my only opportunity because there's
baby
no
snakes
way.
are like actually worse than
It wasn't poisonous.
Grown-up snakes.
It wasn't poisonous though, apparently.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Right. No. There's not. There's only like one poisonous snake in Michigan or something like that.
Yeah, and it's like a rattlesnake or something.
Yeah. You would have known.
Yeah, it's like, but the baby was like it's like I heard like a baby rattle or something. Oh no.
What? Okay. So you held the snake.
Yeah, it sounded like it had beads in it or something. I don't know. Yeah, so I held the snake. I conquered the fear. Probably took me like 45 minutes just to hold the snake.
You held it for 45?
No. It took me 45 minutes to get my hands on it because I was terrified.
Okay.
So
by that point, the snake's probably dead.
Yeah. So I finally hold it. And I was like, cool, I conquered the fear, take it back. And I felt good. I was like, not really scared of snakes that much anymore. Like, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Still nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
But then 12 hours later, I'm getting ready for bed.
Yeah.
Because this was a late night.
Right.
I was falling asleep at like 2. This is like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting ready to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And I'm joking with my buddy that's in the room. I was actually at his house yesterday. We're talking, laughing, and I pick up my pillow. And like, you like pinch your pillow a little bit.
Yeah.
And the snake grips inside of the pillow, and a snake pops out. Like the snake is like there.
The same
snake.
one?
Same snake.
Is it dead?
Pops out, and I'm petrified because it moved. Because it grips the pillow and it moves. And so I'm yelling like, oh, like you
Probably cussing.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't.
All right. My son just shook his head. Yes, you did. Okay, it's probably. Is he the one that did this? Yeah, part of it. Part of the posse.
Yeah.
Snake posse.
Anyway, so so the snake's there. I'm yelling. I wake. Everybody wakes up, and they're all giggling.
Of course.
Every phone in the world is out recording me.
Yeah.
Because they think this is the funniest thing in the world.
Probably was.
I'm not even upset at this point. I'm not even upset that the snake was under my pillow. Like they killed the snake, put it on my pillow. First off, that's wrong. Why did you kill a snake?
Why'd you kill it? Yeah.
Like that's messed up.
Yeah.
But I was mad that they killed the snake and put it under my pillow. It sat there for 12 hours. There was blood and gunk on my bed, and my bed was ruined. Still, not the number one thing I'm mad at. This is the number one thing I'm mad at.
Here it is.
The fact that this snake was murdered, and the essence of this snake is under my pillow. And now all of its snake buddies are out to get me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because
they'll hunt you down.
They know that this snake is in my possession.
Right. The blood.
And it's dead.
Yeah.
And the aroma is in my room.
That's right.
And so
pheromones.
I swear, every night there was snakes slithering on my face or something.
Probably.
So it was a bummer day.
Where are those videos? I'm just curious.
I don't know.
We should get a hold of that.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
We can make that happen.
Okay. Okay, here's the last one I have. Do you want to talk about when I had to file the accident report because you were pretending to be Spider-Man on the side of a deck?
First off, I was Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
Second off,
Spider-Man would not have had to file an accident report.
I didn't. You did.
Yeah, because you were hurt. Does Spider-Man get hurt?
I was getting ready to jump off this balcony because I thought it'd be cool. And this is a tall up balcony, probably like 40 or 50 feet in the air.
I feel like that's an exaggeration, but okay.
Okay, 35 feet.
Okay, better.
And so I'm getting ready to jump off this thing, and I'm holding onto this balcony like wood.
Post, like a post.
Yeah, and
spindle.
I'm like kind of hanging off of it, kind of cool, like because like I'm scared because if I fall wrong,
death,
dead,
like the snake,
just like the snake.
Yeah,
and and I can't imagine my body would smell good dead. I don't know.
Is that what you're worried about?
I just thought about it.
The smell of your dead body? I mean, it wouldn't instantly smell bad, I don't think.
Right. And what was under me was a beach. And dying on a beach sounds terrible.
Yeah, because then you'd have sand where you didn't want it.
Yeah, I'd have sand in my butt crack.
Dead.
In
smelling.
in the grave.
And then there would be snakes waiting at the bottom for you because they are stalking you.
They probably planned
to get you back.
And so I'm hanging on this thing, and one of the posts snaps in half, and it busts me in the face.
Yeah. As
it busts me in the face, literally gashes my lip open.
Blood.
Yeah, it was bad. It was nasty.
Yeah.
And I'm dangling on the side, and I'm like, like I have one hand on one little post, and I'm like, if I fall right now, I'm probably gonna break my back.
Yeah.
Or my neck.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is bad. So I just climbed back up, and I said, I will not do that again.
Yeah. And you brought the post into the office that you tore off the deck.
And I said, I am very sorry.
You said, I am so sorry. Here is your post back, and I have a busted face.
Yeah, the busted face did help that I broke it.
A little bit.
Because it probably made people not feel as bad, like feel worse.
Yeah. No, you would have probably gotten in some kind of trouble if you had not busted your face. So good job.
That hurt bad. I don't, like, it was.
It was big. You're.
Like, my lip was like. It was embarrassingly gross.
Yeah. That was good, though.
I would put liquid Band-Aid on it every day.
I don't think you're supposed to do that inside your mouth.
I didn't care. I needed some kind of burn to make it feel like it was healing. Okay. I'd have put hand sanitizer on if I had a chance. No.
That's not good.
I just needed it to burn.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have more stories, but that's the one I'm going to end with because I feel like and you're like, Spider-Man! like I think I actually did put that in the accident report.
You probably did.
Aaron was trying to be Spider-Man.
Probably did. Yeah, so now you're in a place where you're still in ministry. You're moved up here.
Yep.
And I mean, you've got your family up here. What does your life look like now? Like, feels like almost a new season.
Yeah. Super busy. Busy. So at camp, we do retreats in the spring and the fall, and then family camp in the summer. So right now, like, there's no actual event going on, but it's the prep for all the events that are about to happen the whole year. Yeah. So for me, I was going to say this is more busy than other times, but it's equally as busy. And then my kids play basketball. So, I talked about how giant we are. So naturally we have to play basketball.
Yeah, man.
So we are going to basketball all the time. Literally, like, I think we have something every night of the week that we have to go take off and go do. So that's super busy, but fun. Like, we love it. I'm like that. Lately I've controlled myself a little more in the stands, but I am that mom that will like freak out over their kids, like in a good way. Like, I'm cheering for them obnoxiously.
I like that.
Well, I'm glad you do.
Your kids don't like it.
Sometimes I don't, and then they're like, "We didn't even hear you." I'm like, "How did you not hear me? I was so loud."
They were in the zone.
Yeah. I'm like, "You actually scored that basket because I was cheering." Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I get it. Dude. No, I get that. I always liked it whenever people were cheering in the stands and stuff at sporting events. You ever been ejected from a game?
I have not. I thought so. My husband coaches the girls basketball team, and I thought the other night he was going to get a technical and get ejected for, like, he gets really protective over them. So if, like, the other team starts playing nasty, or so this coach crossed over, like, the table where you're not. So, like, the other coach should have gotten tech, and he crossed over and he was coming at, like, our kids. And my husband, like, he's a protector. And so he was not letting this guy pass. But it appeared that he was, like, bucking up at him, And, I mean, he's not a small dude.
Well,
and
if your husband just stands up, it
right.
seems like that.
Like, oh, no.
He's getting up from dinner. And
yeah.
It's like, uh-oh, what's he gonna do?
Yeah. So I haven't ever been kicked out. But I am never negative. Like, I'm never going to, like scream that somebody did something wrong or whatever. Like, I feel like the fans are there to, like, encourage the kids. They most of the other parents don't have that same philosophy. So if I ever got a tech, it would probably be from knocking out one of the other parents.
But, like, hitting them because you're cheering so much?
No, because they're annoying me. Like, or, like, they talk. So I actually have learned that I have to remove myself from that parent section. Wow. Because they will talk bad about the other kids or, like, scream at them, or, like, even talk bad about my husband when he's coaching. Wow. And I'm like, I don't know if you know this, but I will get dirty with you because you were talking about my family.
That's fair.
Literally the only thing that can actually make me angry is if you mess with my family.
Noted.
And then I will hunt you down.
That's that mama bear instinct.
That's a little warning to you, Aaron Hass, that if you And I don't know why my son just stood up, but he's like, is he trying to fight you right now?
I don't know.
Okay. He's like, I want to see my mom get crazy.
He's like, yeah, let him do something. Let him say something. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start going to like your kids' basketball games.
Yeah.
And just say like out of pocket things that are
Yeah.
like borderline mean.
Yeah.
You know, but they're like mean and make no sense.
Yeah.
So
you're good at that. You say really obscure things about squirrels and stuff like that.
Really?
What do you mean, really? Yes.
I just kind of let my mouth go.
I know. Hence, Abigail knowing new words.
Relax. Relax.
Anyway, yeah. So that's my life, and then we homeschool in the morning, do ministry in the afternoon, do basketball at night. I got girls in ballet. I got a kid taking horse lessons. They take piano.
Yeah.
Our life is really busy, in a fantastic way.
Hey, that's cool.
In a few years, I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, why am I not going to basketball games? I'll just be crying.
Hey, whenever your kids are in the NBA and WNBA,
yeah,
you'll be going to some basketball games.
Make the money. They better be taking care of mama.
I'm saying, dude, I need my mama to start taking care of me.
That is what she's done her whole life. Your whole life.
Let her keep doing it.
Okay. I like your mom.
She's awesome.
If you hadn't heard her episode, go back to Kim.
Yeah.
She's good.
There you go. She's awesome.
Okay.
She's awesome. You got any final thoughts for like if you were like just like, man, this is something I want to make sure people hear and know?
Yeah.
What you got?
Yeah. I would say just from my life, the thing that has like propelled me forward and to keep going. And I mean, I am a believer in Jesus. So I feel like that is, that's how my life is dictated, is what God has for me. But I don't think it has to be this huge, like life changing everything. I think you just have to go the next step. Like, what is the next thing for your life, and follow what God has for you, because he has a path laid out for your life.
Yeah.
So to me, just seeking out what your next step is. I mean, that's all you can do. Take one step at a time.
One step at a time. One step at a time. Man, this has been an awesome episode with the Sara Bishop. I'm super thankful to have had you on. Hopefully you enjoyed this experience.
Yeah. I can delete that list now on my phone too. So.
It's like gone forever. Yeah, this is the Love Works podcast. Thank you for checking it out and listening. This is the end. Love you a bunch. Peace.